I am picking Anthony Joshua to regain his unified belts against Andy Ruiz Jr. this December 7th in Saudi Arabia. Okay? Now, originally, I picked Andy Ruiz Jr. to beat Anthony Joshua. I said if he fights Anthony Joshua, the same shit would happen. But every time I see Andy Ruiz, sorry, sometimes I get mixed up with their names, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, whatever. Every time I see Andy Ruiz, all right, he seems like he's not training. He seems like he's too busy showing off his money. He seems like he's not focusing on boxing, okay? I remember when he first beat Anthony Joshua, when they first interviewed him, okay, in like June 2nd, June 3rd, like literally, they asked him, when are you going to get back into training for the rematch? And he said next month. He said this in early June. Next month, I'm going to get back in the gym and get back into training, right? So he was saying that by July, right, next month, by July, I'll get back into training. But then recent video, he streams or whatever, a recent video of him pops up where Fight Hype, puts on their channel, and it's August, by the way, right now. It's currently August, and in the video he says that, I'm going to start training soon. But he said 2 months ago in June that he was going to start training in July. But instead of training, I guess he wasn't serious about that, because now all of a sudden he's telling you that, no, actually, I didn't train in July. I lied about that. I'm going to train in August, which means he's been just vacationing, right? He's been eating a lot. He's been, he looks like he's gained weight. I don't think he's as serious, at least as of right now, as he was the first time around. But when I see interviews of Anthony Joshua, to me, he seems more like he's ready to get redemption. He wants to avenge his loss against Andy Ruiz Jr. He seems like he is pissed off that he lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. I just get this feeling inside, on my gut. It tells this. I get the feeling that Andy Ruiz is not as motivated in the rematch than Anthony Joshua. Okay? Let's not forget Andy Ruiz has been doing this for over a decade. I believe he turned pro in 2006, 2007. So he's been a pro. I know they're the same age, but he's been a pro way longer than Joshua. Joshua turned pro 6 years ago, 2013. Ruiz, I believe, turned pro 2006, 2007. So he's been a pro for like 5-6 years longer than Anthony Joshua. And just now, he's starting to get, he got paid this type of money. He's never made this type of money. So imagine spending a decade and a decade plus, over a decade in a profession, training to make that type of money, and then finally you hit the jackpot. You get this big opportunity to fight a champion, and you hit $5 million. And now you know that in the rematch you're gonna get paid $9 million, right? Imagine spending 12 years just to get to that spot, and then you get it, and you're like, okay, now where's the motivation now? Now you're like, okay, I finally got it. I got what I always wanted. I got my millions. Now I know I'm going to get $9 million in the next fight. Even if I lose against Joshua, hey, I made that $15 million. It's kind of like Marcos Maidana. Marcos Maidana was never getting big paydays. He turned pro, I believe, in 2001 or something. He was never getting big paydays. It took him 13 years, or like 10, 13 years to get that big Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight. You remember that? He gets that big Mayweather fights. He fights him 2 times. He gets his highest purses, his highest paydays, and then what happens? Marcos Maidana retires. I know he planned on making a comeback, but then you see how he called it off and he didn't come back. I think that the reason he retired is because he spent over a decade plus as a pro. He never got the big paydays, and then he got the big paydays, the 2 big paydays with Floyd Mayweather Jr. matches. And he was like, you know what? What's the point in fighting, all these young guns like a Errol Spence, like a Keith Thurman, like a Danny Garcia, like a Sean Porter, like a Kell Brook? What's the point in continuing if I know I'm never going to make the type of money with these dudes? I feel like he was happy and content with the money he made with Mayweather that he just decided, I'm going to retire. And I get kind of the impression, I get this type of feeling. I might be totally wrong, but I get this type of feeling with Andy Ruiz Jr. I feel that maybe because he's been a pro for 13 years, now that he's finally got this big payday with Anthony Joshua, now that he knows in the rematch he's going to get $9 million. You know, that's, like I said, $15 million in total he would have made. More money he's ever made in his life, right? He could probably retire with that money. Invest on a lot of stuff, right? Invest on a lot of stuff. I think that kind of like killed a little bit of his motivation, in my opinion, all right? Because I just don't see him as the same. I don't think he's as, I think he's slacking a bit. That's all I'm saying. He might come into this fight not the same Andy Ruiz he came in the first time around. The first time around, he had nothing to lose. He was supposed to lose. All right, he had no pressure on him. And he was probably so motivated because he's been a pro for 13 years and this is his one shot. He knows that if he beats him, his life changes. So that his life changes forever with the payday. So that probably motivated the shit out of him. So when he fought Anthony Joshua, that was probably like in the back of his mind the whole time. I got to beat this guy. I got to beat this guy. I got to beat this guy. I want to make these big paydays. But now since that's over with, and now since he, knows that he's going to get another $9 million payday, I feel that maybe it might have been like a bad thing for him to win against Anthony Joshua because maybe it's going to make him lose motivation. Maybe I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I want to see Andy Ruiz, the best version of Andy Ruiz against Anthony Joshua. I want to see Andy Ruiz in there hungry, trying to knock out Anthony Joshua. Not complacent, not show the same desire he did against Anthony Joshua. I wanted to see the same Andy Ruiz I saw the first time around. If he gets dropped, Andy Ruiz in Saudi Arabia again against Anthony Joshua, if he gets dropped, I want him to get up with the same ambition and the same courage he had the first time. Get up and go right after Joshua. I don't want to see him like get hurt and then stay down and let the referee count him out because he's like, who cares? I don't need to take this beating. Anyway, I'm still going to get $9 million, right? I don't want to see that from Andy Ruiz. I hope not. I hope we don't see that from Andy Ruiz. I feel that Andy Ruiz is not as motivated as Anthony Joshua. Like I said, I might be totally wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to apologize to Andy Ruiz Jr. But I think Andy Ruiz might lose to Anthony Joshua. I don't know. That's how I see it. Anyway, guys, I have to say, what do you guys think of the video? I'm out.